What's going on, YouTubers? My name is Robert Serrano Jr., and I am the natural born thriller. And welcome everyone to WWE NXT UK review. 2 episodes of NXT UK. Shows from October 31st, 2018. This was the Halloween edition for NXT UK. Your commentators were Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness for 2 episodes on that same day. So let's get right into it. Let's get to the first episode out of the way, from episode 3 of NXT UK, and then we'll get to the second one, which is episode 4. The first match we get was Trent Seven versus Saxon Hughley. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And the match itself was pretty decent. And in the end, you have Trent Seven and winning the match. It was back and forth action, obviously. A good 5-minute back and forth action between the two. And then in the end, Trent Seven gets the win with the Burning Hammer. Folks, I apologize for that. You probably didn't know what happened. Don't worry about it. Next, we get to Flash Morgan. I meant to say, excuse me, Flash Morgan Webster versus Mark Coffey, as he's been copied by Joe Coffey. So the match itself was, between Morgan and Mark was pretty good too. And in the end, basically, Joe Coffey tried to get involved in the match, try to cost Flash Morgan Webster the match, but didn't obviously failed to do so. And sorry about that, folks. Dog acting up. But anyway, so in the end, as Mark Coffey was trying to get the win here, obviously Flash Morgan Webster was getting the upper hand, for a little guy, obviously, and he gets to a roll-up victory over Mark Coffey to get the win. And there you go. And the match itself I thought was pretty decent too. This match was also pretty decent, to say the least. After the match, obviously the Coffey brothers went to beat down on Flash Morgan Webster, and then they were chased away by Travis Banks and Mark Andrews after that. So basically, the heels got the upper hand, even though they lost the match. Basically Mark Coffey lost the match by 8, but in a way, either way, they were like, you may have won this battle, but the war is far from over. Basically, that's where the how you could take it from that. We get a teaser promo here for Ginny. She's gonna be she's a female wrestler, obviously. She's a part of the NXT UK division of the women's, and yeah, basically I've seen her before too. I believe she was in the Mayhem Classic, if I'm not mistaken. And she's pretty impressive, and I like her personality. I like how she carries herself, and we're going to see more of her on NXT UK. Next, we get Danny Burch versus Sam Gradwell, and these two had a very good brutal match, to say the least. And then in the end, Danny Burch ends up getting the win over Sam Gladwell, excuse me. I did talk to that's how I pronounce it, but and basically after that he was being being interviewed, and basically calls out where he wants to challenge the UK champion Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, and let's see how that turns, and let's see how that ends up happening too. When we get to episode 4, once I'm done with this basically when I'm done episode 3, then I'll do episode 4 afterwards. It's gonna be in the same video too, probably. So because there are these 2 episodes, they're playing these episodes on the same day. So Then we get a video package of Jordan Devlin showcasing what he's all about, and I think they say he's from Dublin, Ireland. I know he's from Ireland because I've seen him wrestle before, obviously, and he's pretty good. He's got a similar look to Finn Balor, and he was trained by Finn Balor. So Jordan Devlin, we'll be seeing more of him of NXT on NXT UK. So there you go. Main event time. We get Zach Gibson versus Noam Dar. And we get these chants for, Zach Gibson, who's a heel. He's getting massive heat, massive boos. And this whole chance of if you hate Gibson, stand up. If you hate Gibson, stand up. If you hate Gibson, stand up. All that. And then, obviously they all stand up. And then the whole thing of if you hate Gibson, shoes off. If you hate Gibson, shoes off. If you hate Gibson, shoes off, and all that. And then there was one part when they were saying, if you hate Gibson, sit down. If you hate Gibson, sit down. If you hate Gibson, sit down. Oh my god, these crowds are crazy. But as far as this match was, this match went on way too long, 20 minutes, and I was enjoying this match, folks. Back and forth action between Zach Gibson and Noam Dar. Like Noam Dar was working on Zach Gibson's leg throughout the entire match. Then you got then you got Zach Gibson, meant to say, excuse me, working on the arm of Noam Dar at one point after his knee. Just some good action in this match. I was blown away with this match between Noam Dar and Zach Gibson. And then in the end, Zach Gibson is like in the win, where a crowd's massive boos to him, for him even winning. But he went to the Heller Skeletor on to get the win, and yeah, so Zach Gibson, he's got nuclear heat. I don't know why he's getting this nuclear heat, but it's amazing. And then and what they don't realize is that they keep giving these type of nuclear heat. He's gonna make a lot of money off them. Like they were at one point with Elias. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, that was basically the end of episode 3 for NXT UK for this review from October 21st, 2018. For this show itself, Tomorrow Wrestling was 3 matches. I think it was 3 matches. Let me double check. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. 4 matches. Excuse me. My overall rating for the show for the 3rd episode of NXT UK from October 31st, 2018. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10. Now let's go to episode 4 for continuing this review for WWE NXT review. This WWE NXT UK review. The show from October 31st, 2018, the Halloween edition. Same day. This time this is episode 4. Obviously your same commentators, Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph. And here we go. Let's get right down to it. We get Mustache Mountain versus Sam Gadwell and Saxton Hughley. I did how you pronounce his name. Basically, you get a tag team match here. And by the way, Mustache Mountain is Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. And as far as the tag team match was, pretty good, decent tag team match. And obviously, in the end, you get Mustache Mountain winning this tag team match. Submitting themselves that they're legit contenders to be part of this tag team tournament. Pretty soon when it comes to the NXT UK tag team championship. But we'll see. When they were whenever they decide to do it. But other than that, let's get to what happened next. And what happened next is Now they were advertising this match for to be the main event, which is going to be Wolfgang versus um Travis excuse me, Travis Banks. Basically Travis Banks versus Wolfgang. But unfortunately, Travis Banks was seen backstage beaten down. Well, they didn't show anyone beat him down. It just showed him, he was taken out. And we don't know who did until later on it fully explained. I mean, it doesn't they don't tell you they were the corporate, but we'll get to that later though. Travis Banks was taken out. He has he was supposed to be in the main event, but we'll get to be in the main event against Wolfgang. Um, Let's afterwards NXT UK features Isley Dawn. Isley Dawn. Isley Dawn wrestled for the UK special this past summer, and she wrestled for the Mae Classic 2018 for this for this year. And here she is. She's obviously part of the roster of the women's division for the NXT UK, and yeah, they show hype of her of what she can do and all that. And we're gonna see more. We're gonna be seeing a lot of her, and I like her by the way. She's pretty cool and sexy. Then we get another video package piece with just this time Jenny. Yeah, another video package from Jenny. And there you go. Then we get Mark Andrews approaching NXT UK General Manager Johnny Saint to give him a chance to face Wolfgang in the main event since Travis Banks can't do it, and Johnny Saint decided to grant him that wish. So it'll be Mark Andrews versus Wolfgang in the main event for NXT UK episode 4. And also, I should mention too, Mark Andrews kind of he blames the Coffee Brothers being involved for attacking Travis Banks. So they basically they're the suspects according to Mark Andrews, and we'll get to more of that later on. Next we get Isley Dawn versus Nita Samuels, and this match itself, both women looked good. Both basically who dominated the match, and basically it was Nita Samuels because Isley Dawn was favoring an arm injury during the middle of the match, going into the not the ring post, but to the turnbuckle and all that. Basically, Nita was heavily going into the the injury of the injury arm of Isley Dawn, and it didn't matter at the end of the day because Isley Dawn gets the win over her with I can't remember what was the move she did to her and all that, but that ended the match on, and there you go, But I gotta say, Isley Dawn, she's a pretty good wrestler, and she's I guess you could say she could be one of those underdogs in the NXT UK Women's Division, and I see I see a lot of potential in her too. She's got good personality, good potential. She's a cool chick too and all, and I think she was trained by Aleister Black if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what they were saying before, but I don't know. But yeah, Isley Dawn gets the win, which is good. We get Pete Dunne, the NXT UK champion, or should I say the WWE UK champion? Because it's not really called the NXT UK championship, but whatever. But you got Pete Dunne being interviewed about Danny Burch, calling him out where it pertains to challenging for the title. And basically, Pete Dunne said he's not worried about facing Danny Burch for his title. And basically, he's letting them know. He's letting the interviewer know. I don't think they even mentioned the interviewer's name, but anyways, but Pete Dunne basically let everyone know, and Danny Burch know, that he's not sweating anyone retains to defend his UK championship. So let me get another also not another one. I meant to say a quick promo from Jordan Devlin. You know, representing Ireland. So, and then we get to the match. Well, before we get to the match, though, also we get to a promo by Eddie Dennis about basically tells a story about trying out and getting signed, and say that his friends Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews didn't call him while he was injured, and he has everything to prove after Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews advanced into the WWE without him. And by the way, folks, they were playing this video package for Eddie Dennis for 4 weeks now. Since the very beginning for NXT UK, I just never got the chance to talk about it. To be honest with you, but now I'm gonna let you know right now. Basically, for the past 4 episodes of NXT UK, they have been doing this video package about Eddie Dennis, and Eddie Dennis it's a nice storytelling here too, where it pertains to talking about his two best friends, that he considers his friends, his best friends, Mark Andrews and Pete Dunne, that they grew up together, and they came to the business together, and then they signed to the WWE together, but then all of a sudden Eddie Dennis gets hurt, and Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews, based on the story, they never call him, never checked on him to see if he was alright and all that. And to see Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews make it to the WWE, no matter how they got into WWE, in either on the network or on what percents going being a mainstream, main roster type of thing, main roster TV show, whatever. Either way, they made it to WWE while he didn't make it to WWE because again with the injury getting in the way. So I guess he's gonna be a heel. I guess I'm assuming that's what that is doing here. He's probably a heel. But yeah, well, we'll see. They haven't really mentioned when he's gonna debut yet, but he's gonna be debuting pretty soon, and they're gonna keep doing these vignettes until that time comes. Now we get to Jordan Devlin versus Tucker, and these two guys are having a very good match. Obviously, it was a showcase for Jordan Devlin. Excuse me. But Tucker also put a good fight, but in the end, you got Jordan Devlin getting the win over Tucker in the match. All right, and before we get to the main event, they did mention something about Dakota Kai, and she basically wants to challenge Toni Storm, the winner of the 2018 Man Classic tournament, and it will happen in the next 2 weeks. But based on me doing this review on this week, it's gonna be next week, obviously. So basically, last week was announced in 2 weeks' time, but because this week doing the I'm a little late doing this review. It's actually in 2 weeks' time. It's actually 1 week time to say. Excuse me. So it'll be Dakota Kai versus Toni Storm. As far as what they're gonna do for this week, I don't know what they're gonna do for this week, but hopefully they don't play 2 episodes for this week again, like they did last week. That's why I'm doing 2 review. That's what I'm doing 2 reviews, 2 episodes in the same review here. So, all right. Then Danny Burch gets an interview. He interviews about facing he's going to get his opportunity to face the WWE United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne in 2 weeks' time, and says that he will make fans believe he can win and all that. So and he's gonna make Pete Dunne believe that he's gonna win too and all that. So again, we'll see how it turns out. I'm looking forward to the matches. See how they deliver in the next 2 weeks, and hopefully Pete Dunne's to the champion. Just saying. Main event time. Now again, it was supposed to be Travis Banks versus Wolfgang, but because Travis Banks got attacked by someone that we don't know who it was, but it was revealed. But they didn't really mention it on the show. But you get the picture about that where that whole thing is going to. But we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, Mark Andrews versus Wolfgang, and the match was over pretty damn good. And in the end, Mark Andrews gets the win. And then Wolfgang gives a handshake to Mark Andrews, and then Wolfgang leaves the ring. Also, we get the Coffee Bros get in the ring to attack Mark Andrews because the Coffee Bros are taking offense, and they were being offended that Mark Andrews accused the Coffee Bros for the reasons of attacking Travis Banks. But then we get Flash Gordon coming in for the run-in to help out Mark Andrews. And while this is all going on, Wolfgang is standing on the stage, seeing all this going on. And then the Coffee Bros get on the upper hand again. Only this time, Flash Gordon Webster is a one-man trying to fight them off. While Mark Andrews, who's just been through a match and he's ready to be, and after the match, is getting beaten down by the Coffee Brothers. Also, Wolfgang comes in for the save, only to turn on Morgan Webster, and then on the Coffee Brothers gets in the ring. They help Mark Andrews and says, show your loyalty, or shows you you really are on our side on that. So then Wolfgang attacks Mark Andrews too, and there you go, folks, staying tall in the middle of the ring. Wolfgang and the Coffee Brothers. So what faction are they being? I don't know, but and also you could say is it has been confirmed on the show, but you could obviously common sense will tell you they were responsible for taking out Travis Banks earlier on the night from backstage. Maybe not with Wolfgang, but with the Coffee Brothers, probably the ones that were involved. But there you go. That was the and that was the show. Talking about wrestling for episode 4 of NXT UK, the show from October 31st, 2018. 4 matches. Let me just double check in case I'm wrong. Okay, 4 matches. I was right. This time I was right. My overall rating for this show, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. And there you go. So that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., Natural Born Thriller. Please subscribe to me if you haven't subscribed to me yet. If you enjoyed this 2 episodes of NXT UK for this NXT UK review, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. The choice is yours and yours alone. And that being said, folks, I'm done. You all take care. You have a good night. Well, actually, it's not nighttime, actually. You have a good afternoon, I meant to say. So yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. But for now, peace on the streets. I'm out.